BioWeingut Kemetner. Make sure you pronounce it correctly. Kemetner is one of only two producers in our Austrian portfolio, with the Bio ahead of the Weingut, the other being Schreiner. So here's the short bio of BioWeingut Kemetner. It's a multi-generational family, been growing grapes in the eastern part of the Kamptal since the 17th century. And Papa Leopold, he's been farming organically for a long time, before it was in vogue. And recently, his two sons took over. And Simon, the very youthful-looking son, took over as winemaker. And there is Nicolas, his older brother. And they manage the property. As such, Kemetner exudes the kind of vibe that you'd expect from two young, world-savvy brothers. New lines, new explorations. It's impossible for a curious, earnest winery like this to stay static. Of course, the new generation pays homage to its roots. Take a look at the story of the emblem on its bottles.
An old invoice from the 18th century. And you can see it's Johannes Kemetner, which was one of our ancestors. And yes, and now we decided to put it on our label, and that's the result.
Nick calls it probably the cheesiest seal in the world, a heart with 2 crossed arrows and 3 marigolds, but hey, that's their seal, and that's what's on every bottle of Kemetner. Okay, so where are we? Well, the part that I'm highlighting is the Niederösterreich, which includes, from left to right, Wachau, Kremstal, Kamptal, and Wagram. The dark green is where Kamptal is. There's a Kamp River feeding into the Danube. And there's a dynamic tension all across the Danube between the hot winds from the Pannonian Plain coming out through Rust and Burgenland and the cool Waldviertel winds from the northwest. And there's a noticeable freshness that you can taste in the wines. And the terroir. Here's a good little spot. It's the familiar Luss on the right, then the conglomerate, increasingly with more stony soils where the top quality reeds are coming from. Thank goodness for the Kemetner brothers to make it easy to look at. Speaking of, the one in the middle, Reed Carl, here we go. Let's take a look. I probably shouldn't say this, but if you ever wondered if a Tesla can go off-road in the vineyards, yes, it can. All right, so here we arrive at the Reed Carl, and let's take a listen. It's a fairly high elevation spot in the Kamptal.
Yeah, we are 100 meters or 150 meters higher than back in the cellar street. So, and here you have a nice view over Reed Carl. So all the terraces here are ours. All of them are Grüne Veltliner.
It's a common sensation across the vineyards we visit in Austria. The vineyards feel like they're part of the forest, like you are in the forest, which part of it just happens to be growing cool-ass grapes and making fresh, kick-ass wines. Let's finish up by enjoying the spirit of Kemetner as seen through last year's harvest. Hopefully you have a glass of Kemetner nearby. You know, those green wheelbarrows, they really use them. They really do.